Boo! It's Halloween weekend. As you prepare for another spooky season celebration, SBU-TV is live in Olean to get you ready. Next week marks the start of basketball season at St. Bonaventure. We have everything you need to know before tip-off. Tomorrow marks the beginning of early voting in New York.
That's not the democracy we live in, but it's the world that Lee Zeldin does.
SBU-TV recaps the heated debate from a marquee midterm race.
Hey everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Aaron Mankowski with your SBU-TV weather forecast.
And a look at the beautiful weekend ahead. All this and more when SBU-TV starts right now. Good morning and welcome to SBU-TV. I'm Ryan Boland.
And I'm Anthony Goss. Thank you for joining us this morning. We have some Halloween festivities, and we start this morning with Rich Williams, who is live in Olean with the latest on Halloween festivities. Good morning, Rich.
Good morning, Anthony and Ryan. I'm out here at Olean. I don't know about you guys about the Halloween spirit, but I'm in my best young Joe Biden costume. Now, behind me is the Olean YMCA, where later today we are going to see a trunk-or-treat event from 6 to 8. They're expecting about 200 people to come by and get some early trick-or-treating done before the weekend. Now, if you're into the Halloween season, don't worry. That's not the only thing going on in town to celebrate Halloween. Over in Lincoln Park, we're actually going to have a nice drive-through trick-or-treating. That's from 4 to 6 on Monday night. They're expecting about 150 cars to roll through past Lincoln Park. And it's being hosted by the police and fire departments. And after that, you're going to see your official trick-or-treating times from 6 to 8. You can go knocking on your neighbor's doors, asking for candy like you normally do. But if you're not into that, don't worry. You're going to be able to go do another trunk-or-treating event at the Olean Library. That's from 6 to 8 as well on Monday. So there are plenty of opportunities to get your trick-or-treating in. But there's even more. If you want to learn more about some other events going on in town, go check out the Olean Chamber of Commerce's webpage. They're going to have a whole list of Halloween trick-or-treating events going on in town. For SBU-TV, I'm Rich Williams, Anthony Ryan. See you guys soon.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Aaron Mankowski with your SBU-TV weather forecast. Friday, partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Saturday, it looks like a super day, low to mid 60s with abundant sunshine. A few more clouds on Sunday with high temperatures near 60 degrees.
Great to know that we will have wonderful weather this weekend. With Halloween just a few days away, our Anthony De Silva dives into why Halloween candy prices are soaring this year.
You may notice something different when buying Halloween candy this year. Candy is more expensive and you're getting less of it. According to the Wall Street Journal, candy companies say the cost of sugar and flour have surged more than the overall inflation rate, which is why people will pay 13.1% more for Halloween candy this year than they did last year. Economic professor Benjamin Posmanek explains one way companies cope with inflation.
Or you can meld those two together and potentially raise the price by a little bit and decrease the amount by a little bit and still get that same sort of net effect.
Which is why you may be noticing less candy in your bags this year. From SBU TV, I'm Anthony Silva.
More than 160 million Americans are expected to buy Halloween candy this year, so the soaring prices are affecting many people. Bills Mafia, get ready to see your new home. In case you missed it, the Buffalo Bills released the first composite images of their new stadium in Orchard Park. The team expects the stadium to be ready for use in 2026, and it will be built just across the street from the team's current home, Highmark Stadium. In their press release, the team says that their renderings are not final, but they hope to create a, quote, vibrant and ground-shaking experience for the passionate Bills Mafia.
St. Bonaventure has updated the Bonnie's Connect app for students and faculty to use this week. Our Johnny's Washington found out what the new and improved app features.
The Bonnie's Connect app has undergone a major transformation.
The previous app was more event focused, so that was really the only feature it had to it, was to find out what was going on campus.
The app itself is now under a new company, Ready Education.
The previous company actually was bought out by someone else and they completely got rid of the app, so we had to hurry and find a new company that provided what we were looking for within the app.
One of the primary reasons students use the Bonnie's Connect app is to get basketball tickets at no cost. The season begins in just 5 days.
It'll be similar to last year where they'll release a certain amount of tickets at a certain time, and I'm pretty sure So you won't be buying the tickets through the app. You can use the app to access the link to buy the tickets.
A total of 850 tickets will be available for students to claim. In the app, students must first click the student ticketing tile in the app and click register to get a Vivenu account. Students will then select their seats in the student section. In order for the tickets to be free, students must type in their student ID number for verification. Tickets will be available in emails to download as a PDF. The app isn't just for getting basketball tickets. For example, the app lists out all your classes and your grades. Freshmen like Brendan Bay are getting used to the app.
My favorite part of the Bonnie's Connect app is probably how interactive it is and how easy it is to be able to find things on there.
Students can find the step-by-step process to claiming tickets in their Bonaventure emails. For SBU-TV,
I'm ready to get into the games.
I'm Johnny's Washington.
Student tickets for the men's exhibition game will be available on October 31st.
After being off the air for the entirety of last season, radio broadcast for Bonnie's women's basketball returns this year. The university awarded rights to broadcast all women's basketball games to its campus radio station, The Buzz. The Buzz was last the home for the women's basketball team during the 2011-2012 season. Most recently, Bonnie's games were broadcasted by Salamanca-based station 2 seasons ago. The Bonnies finished with an overall record of 12-16 last season, but landed near the bottom of the Atlantic 10 standings at the year's end. Freshman guard Kira Dandridge says with the support of fans, her team expects to be greatly improved.
I feel like we're going to be pretty successful. You know, women's basketball is starting to evolve and women's are taking over. So I think, we should get the same energy the men's basketball team should get.
The Bonnie season tips off November 7th in a home matchup with Bowling Green. For more information on how to tune into the radio broadcast, please visit the Go Bonnies website.
Early voting begins tomorrow in New York State. As voters prepare to cast their ballots, they got to hear from the key candidates on the biggest race on their ballot. New York Governor Kathy Hochul faced challenger Lee Zeldin in their only debate before election night.
He wants to do something, he can just undo the will of the people. That's not the democracy we live in, but it's the world that Lee Zeldin does.
I'm here for one reason, to save our state and deliver a safer, freer, better future for you and your family.
Hochul and Zeldin debated a variety of topics on Tuesday, including abortion access and rising crime. Not missing a chance to take a jab at one another, Governor Hochul calling out Zeldin's staunch support of former President Trump, while the opposite, calling out the state governor for alleged corruption. Multiple recent polls show Hochul's lead over Zeldin shrinking.
And if you walk into the Richter Center this weekend, you will notice some changes in the process. On Thursday, St. Bonaventure cleared out the upper level of the fitness area. Associate Dean for Student Life, Rob DeFazio, says the university is installing all new cardio equipment. The rest of the fitness facility will remain open during this transformation, but you could see delays getting into the locker rooms as equipment is being moved around. The new equipment is expected to showcase a wide variety of pieces, including echelon bikes. The project currently has a completion date of next Tuesday.
Changes to St. Bonaventure's alumni group announced Monday. The group will transition from its current board structure to a council structure over the next few years. Current board leaders will continue to serve in leadership roles during the transition period. Future council officers will be appointed by staff from the University Advancement Office, eliminating council member elections. The decision was made by the former alumni board in collaboration with Bonaventure's newly inaugurated president, Dr. Jeff Gingrich, and the Advancement Office. Gingrich said the decision was made to make the group's operations more efficient and impactful.
And are you wondering what to do with your unused or unwanted pills? The Greater Olean area will feature 2 pill drop-off locations Saturday. One will be in Olean and the other in Cuba. Both will be open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. as you see there on your screen. It's all part of National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. Its organizers say taking back your unneeded pills prevents medication misuse and opioid addiction. Cattaraugus County's public health director told SBU-TV his department has noticed a slight uptick in opioid-related deaths this year.
We will continue to advocate for more harm reduction programs in this community in order to reduce the number of deaths that we are seeing in our community.
Dr. Watkins says the illicitly produced opioid fentanyl continues to be a problem in the county. claiming up to 22 lives so far this year. And if you or a loved one is struggling with opioid addiction, don't hesitate to reach out to the National Substance Abuse Service hotline displayed at the bottom of your screen.
Coming up, flu season has arrived. What you can do to protect yourself. And an update on British author Salman Rushdie after the break.
And before we head to break, a live look at downtown Olean this morning. Aaron Mankowski was with us earlier and told us to expect sunny skies again this weekend with temperatures in the mid-60s.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
I don't have any friends. I don't have any family. I've never had a girl.
New this morning, the FBI flagged Orlando Harris, 19, of St. Louis, who killed 2 people and wounded several others at a St. Louis high school Monday. He wrote the words you just heard shortly before this. Police say Harris, who graduated from this high school last year, had an AR-15 style rifle and over 600 rounds of ammunition. Wednesday, the St. Louis community released balloons in honor of the victims. Harris died after a gun battle with police. Authorities are investigating how Harris obtained his weaponry.
And in national news, in light of Liz Truss's resignation, the United Kingdom has elected Rishi Sunak as its 3rd Prime Minister of 2022. Sunak is the first British Asian to take office. Rishi Sunak quickly got to work filling out his cabinet on Tuesday to tackle the country's economic and political turmoil. But his appointment raised some eyebrows from opposing party leader Keir Starmer. Starmer is concerned about the reappointment of Home Secretary Suella Braverman, who, due to the fact that she was fired just 6 days before her reappointment. Although there have been questions, Sunak has delivered on giving his party more confidence for the direction of the party.
Flu season has arrived. Early on, Cattaraugus County has one of the highest influenza rates in New York. According to state health officials, Wednesday, New York Governor Kathy Hochul advocated for the protection against the triple threat respiratory syncytial virus, influenza, and COVID-19. The triple-demic has already pushed hospitals nationwide to capacity.
We saw RSV starting to circulate in the summer, and we had a very, very early peak. Among the children that we've been seeing with COVID and influenza that are requiring hospitalization, 95% have not been fully vaccinated.
Experts say not to delay getting your flu shot. That's the best way to prevent a serious illness.
After Arthur Salman Rushdie was attacked last month, his condition has been largely unknown. Earlier this week, his agent talked to a Spanish newspaper and reported that the author last saw use of his vision and lost use of one of his eyes. Meanwhile, his alleged attacker, Hadi Matar, has pled not guilty to an attempted murder charge as a result of the attack.
When we return, more more Yay West controversy. And a deal long awaited has finally been completed. All this and more in your Drop Pop Tour.
And back in Ole, another look at downtown on Route 16. A beautiful start to the weekend as you head out the door this morning. And then you can expect this type of weather all weekend long. Sunny skies and temperatures in the mid-60s.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Tonight, the Olean Huskies will face off against the Iroquois Indians in the first round of the playoffs. I attended a Huskies practice earlier this week and mic'd up starting quarterback Joe Mest ahead of the big game.
Hey, I like this one. This might be the first play of the game. All right. Well, we got to make sure we run the right route.
The Olean Huskies are preparing for their first round of the playoffs. Going up against the 8-0 Iroquois Indians, head coach Phil Vecchio knows he has to be tough on his team to prepare them for Friday night.
Excuse after excuse after excuse.
Come on, man! Get to an athletic position! You gotta move your feet. He's quick. Right there. He went underneath. I didn't think.
Stay with him. Don't think, react.
You can't get a better angle than that. You can't. All we're doing is missing blocks. Everybody takes a turn missing a block.
Vecchio is in his 7th season coaching the Huskies. That doesn't stop his players from bringing new play suggestions to practice.
I just made something a little bit silly. Saw it on Madden. I do a slant, follow him up, and then I do a post. Classic Madden play. So it's this.
But like every high school football practice, it's not all about the X's and O's. Football is fun, and there is always some sort of goofing around.
Set. I'm mic'd up today.
Pull us down, please.
Chat, why you late?
I work, bro.
That was a good clap.
There you go. Yummy. No, you're a big cheater. You're a big cheater, Noah. You guys need water, get water. If not, just reach up and open your mouth. Yeah. Don't get patient.
For SBU-TV, I'm Ryan Bull.
Clap. I'm out.
A lot of personalities on that team, that is for sure. A big thanks to Coach Vecchio for allowing me to take part in his practice. And like Katie Anastasia said, Madden, a lot of good play arts on there. I'm hoping that they use that this Friday as they take on the Indians at 7 o'clock.
Good to hear. And now we go over to Anthony Da Silva with the latest in our pop culture news.
Hello, my name is Anthony Silva and welcome back to the Drop Pop Tour. Today we have Elon Musk officially purchasing Twitter, Apple's new charging cables, but first we have Ye's partnerships.
Me and Adidas, it's like, I could literally say anti-Semitic and they can't drop me. I could say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can't drop me.
Now what?
13 companies have officially severed their partnership with musical artist Ye West. After Ye's recent anti-Semitic remarks online and in interviews, companies such as Adidas, Foot Locker, and Gap have ended their respective partnerships with Ye. Ye's net worth now sits at $400 million out of his $2 billion earlier this year. Adidas state they may continue selling the Yeezy brand shoe, but without Ye's involvement. Elon Musk has officially bought Twitter after getting cold feet earlier this year. Elon has placed down his $44 billion deposit. The billionaire has made it a goal to change the landscape of Twitter. This includes less restriction on the freedom of speech on the app. Musk has already changed his Twitter bio, describing himself as the chief twit. He states, and I quote, "That is why I bought Twitter. I didn't do it because it would be easy. I didn't do it to make more money. I did it to help humanity, whom I love." Heads up, Apple may be looking to replace all charging cables by 2023. Due to European Union law, Apple will replace all new smartphones with USB-C cables. Apple's Vice President Greg Josewalk refused to answer whether the transition will occur for all phones. However, leaks confirmed that a new universal connector cable will release by 2023.
People dreamed about this for years.
That's it for the Drop Pop Tour. Have a great Halloween. Back to you, Anthony and Ryan.
As the deforestation crisis reaches its breaking point in America, officials roll out an ambitious plan to replant more than 1 billion new trees across the nation. CNN's Jeremy Roth explains exactly how they plan to tackle this monumental environmental task.
The annual arrival of autumn colors across the land is a reminder not only of the living beauty of America's forests, but also the vulnerability of this natural resource, which now more than ever is fighting for its very survival. Wildfires are responsible for the destruction of millions of acres of forested land in the U.S. It's a problem that David Lytle of the U.S. Forest Service says has reached a breaking point.
We are facing a wildfire crisis in the U.S. Wildfires are growing in both size and intensity. They're becoming more difficult to fight, and as a result of wildfires and our limited resources, we end up with a backlog of about 5 million acres of land on National Forest System lands that are in need of reforestation.
Now, seeds of hope in the form of federal legislation called the Replant Act that couldn't have come at a more pivotal time. The bipartisan act not only delivers a much-needed infusion of funds and resources, but also sets an ambitious goal of planting and regenerating more than 1 billion new trees on U.S. soil over the next decade.
Replant has been a game changer and is really going to allow us to address the wildland fire risk issues, to address climate change, and to address our reforestation backlog.
But more than 1 billion trees? How exactly is a monumental task like that executed?
We will be expanding our operations, hiring new people, and doing more work on the ground. Moving forward is going to take collaboration, cooperation, and partnership.
So what can the rest of us do to help?
You can plant a tree in your own yard. You can work with your community to help plant trees in communities. You can work with nonprofit organizations. You can volunteer. All of us have a role to play in reforestation.
I'm Jeremy Roth, reporting.
The Replant Act was passed as official legislation in November 2021 and is already on its way to create nearly 50,000 jobs nationwide.
Coming up in sports, the women's rugby team prepares to take on Cortland tonight in the conference championship. Hear from head coach Meredith Pike ahead of the big game. That's tonight. And the baseball team begins a new tradition. That and more. Stick around.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, you just look at that. It's so sad.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Would like to do that. Welcome back to SBU-TV. Thanks for enjoying your Friday morning with us. As fall sports reach their conclusion, winter sports are just around the corner, and the Bills and Sabres look to continue their hot streaks. It's time for sports with Tyler Everett.
Hello everyone and welcome back to SBU-TV Sports. I'm Tyler Everett. The #1 ranked St. Bonaventure women's rugby team is set to host the second-ranked SUNY Cortland this weekend in the conference finals. The Bonnies anticipate a tough matchup against Cortland. Head coach Meredith Pike had this to say about the team's outlook.
We expect Cortland to be a really strong team. It's going to be the strongest team that we've faced all season. We've just said, let's get out there and see what we can do, and let's get ready for them.
The Red Hot Bonnies look to follow up a dominant 94-5 victory over Hamilton College last week. The confident group holds the 5-0 record on the season and looks to continue to set high program expectations. The game will be broadcasted on the NCR YouTube channel at 8 p.m. and Bonnie fans are encouraged to fill the hill. The Bonnies baseball team began the Bonnie Bowl this weekend, a 3-game inter-squad scrimmage. Senior catcher and captain Jackson DeJohn said he enjoys this new end to the fall season.
This is a new end of the fall for us. In the past we've ended around Parents Weekend. So now this is last 3 games of the fall. Teams were drafted Tuesday night by myself and Dan, the other captain. So kind of a fun way to end it, drafted by your own teammates.
After playing Game 1 on Thursday, Game 2 will start this afternoon at 3 p.m. and Game 3 will take place on Saturday. The Bonnies announced the hiring of new head coach Jason Rathburn earlier this year, their 3rd coach in the past 3 seasons. After beating the Kansas City Chiefs and going on a bye week, the Buffalo Bills return to Orchard Park to face the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football. The Packers are on a 3-game skid and coming off a 23-21 loss to the Washington Commanders. The Bills are 10.5-point favorites in this game, making this Aaron Rodgers' first ever double-digit underdog matchup. Kickoff is set and scheduled to take place at Highmark Stadium at 8:20 p.m. on NBC. Now looking ahead at the weekend for Bonnies athletics, the men's and women's swim and dive teams continue their season at the A10 Invitational in Geneva, Ohio. The men and women's cross-country teams look to finish their season strong at the A10 Championships on Saturday. Both the men's and women's rugby teams are in action, with the men taking on the University of Mary Washington and the women against Cortland in the championship tonight at the Mara Athletics Complex. And finally, the men's soccer team will complete their season on Saturday, facing off against VCU. That game will be streamed on ESPN+. Plenty of sports action coming up this weekend, and if you can't catch it all, don't worry, we've got you covered. Follow us on SBU-TV Sports at Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. That's all for me. Back over to you, Anthony and Ryan.
Thanks, Tyler. And the Intramural Dodgeball Championship happened on Thursday night. Playing a 3-game series, the Hickey Tav Warriors won the championship after an intense Game 3 tiebreaker, making it the 2nd year in a row they won it all. The team then decided to celebrate by going to the one place they know best, the Hickey Tavern. Senior Frank Schmeling was awarded MVP of the series. Schmeling tells us that it was an amazing way to end the season. The team will be disbanding after this year because of graduation. The back-to-back champs will retire on a high note after winning it one last time.
On Friday, November 4th, Cordis Ensemble will present its innovative multimedia program, Condition Blue, at 7:30 p.m. in the Quick Arts Center. Cordis is an American progressive chamber music group featuring cymbalum percussion, cello, guitar, and keyboards. The program features the dramatic music of Cordis, creatively affected and enhanced by the boundless properties of water.
And on your screen right now, SBU-TV's Instagram and Facebook handles. Make sure to check us out and give us a follow so you can stay up to date. And as we head into Halloween, send us a picture of what you are wearing in your costumes. We'll share it on our page throughout the weekend. Now, Anthony, I'm not sure Halloween this Monday. Do you have a favorite Halloween candy?
I do, Ryan. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, those are the way to go. That's my favorite Halloween candy. What about you?
You know, it's an underdog type of candy. Candy corn. Not many people like it. I'm an advocate for it. Go to your local store, buy the candy corn. It's Halloween. It's time to like it.